Wow, the first devlog's a hit. This is great. We're going along very nicely. No bump in the roads. Oh wait, what's that? You're kidding. So a few hours after I submitted the first devlog, I was notified about a thing I honestly did not know existed. Apparently you can patent a game mechanic. Seriously, I did not know this was a thing that existed in the game development world. So I found out for over 20 years Capcom had patented the game mechanic for Battle Network, but it did expire as of last year, 2021, so games like One Step from Eden could exist. Now I'm only 5 months into my game, so this is super early, and honestly with my absorb system, it's enough for my game to be very different. But I saw this as a sign, as an opportunity to change my game to make it better. So I took that challenge and told myself that I would change or add 2 different mechanics to my bowl of game mechanics and make it spicier. But I would keep my absorb system. Everyone loved that mechanic in the last devlog, including myself by the way. So let's get started on what I added. So first off, I needed to change the stage. It was way too similar to Mega Man Battle Network. So I began to brainstorm. And within minutes, I came up with random generation. Why not make the stage you battle on random? So off the bat, you already seen a difference in the last battle arena stage. It was color coded, to whereas in the blue tiles, it was player movement area, and in the red tiles represented the enemy tiles. The first decision was to ditch that so that way you can move anywhere now, but so can the enemy. So that way you had to tread carefully as to where the enemy could be. Now earlier I mentioned random generation. Let's show you what I mean by that. Press button and show them random generation. Hey, why am I reading this? Mini Ghost? Why did I hire this guy? So as you saw just now, the stage changed. So every time you play, it won't be the same. Basically like a roguelike. I also plan on doing this to the enemies and their locations as well. But seeing how I only have one enemy, yeah, I figured I'd just hold out until I had more. So that's the first major change. Now I created 3 stages for today's devlog. The second stage I will re-demonstrate the absorb system. No, I did not make any changes, but I made a new ability showing off more of this mechanic. Let's take a look. Okay, so to re-demonstrate the absorb system, let's go and do damage to the dummy again. And as you can see, the dummy's health is almost done here, but we have the option to absorb him. I know what you're thinking, and what will a dummy help us out in our battle? Don't worry, I'll show you in the next stage. To announce in my game, every enemy will be absorbable. That's right, every new enemy you encounter, you can absorb him. I am planning on adding 30 to 60 enemies. And you can use his abilities and others to aid you in battle. And you can store their powers and switch out to whatever ability you think will aid you in the next battle. This kind of gives it kind of like a Pokemon-like feel to it if you think about it. It's exciting and honestly can't wait to make more cool abilities. Now it's time to show you the second major change I've made to my main mechanic. I've honestly added more to the absorb system. Me personally, after testing it out, it feels like it complements the absorb system. Let's take a look at the slime dice system, or slime dice mechanic. Now, there is a lot going on. Let's walk you through it. First off, the UI slots number 1 has an image. That represents our slime absorb abilities that we gained from the previous level. And the new ability I like to call the slime dummy. I will demonstrate in a minute. For now, let's focus on the center of our screen. That is the slime dice mechanic. So the screen is telling us we need to press J to start. And what will happen is a green dice will roll and that will give us a number. Now I want you to pay attention to these black boxes here so when I roll the dice. So let's get started. You see that? A value was added to our boxes, both of them. But what does that mean for our abilities? Well, let's find out. So right now we have 2 choices. The first choice is re-roll. And for now we will ignore that due to the fact that I haven't finished coding that. I do have a minor twist to add if you re-roll, but for now let's just continue. Now, very similar to the last devlog, we are in a predicament. So we obviously need to absorb this enemy above, then we can use his ability to defeat the other enemies. But to aid us will be our new ability. Let's go ahead and use that now. Now you saw what I just did. I summoned the slime dummy, and he served as our shield as we defeated this enemy. But did you pay attention to his health? Yes, that's right, he had a health of 3. And did you see his HP can go as far as 6? So the green dice determined our health value for our first ability. But what will that mean for our second ability if we were to get one? Let's go ahead and absorb this enemy and see what will happen. So as you can see, I'm firing up to 3 times, and unlike our slime dummy, we actually have a regeneration. Now if the enemy would have defeated our slime dummy, he wouldn't have regenerated. That means that we only had 1 chance of using our dummy ability, and that's it for each battle. You only have 1 chance to use this ability. You must use it wisely. I've decided to code it this way so that way it gives it more of a risk/reward to using it. But for our second ability, our rock attack, you can use it up to whatever value of roll dice the green determined. But there is going to be some regeneration to it, and you must wait for it. So let's go ahead and defeat the enemy down below and finish off this level. So that is our slime ability in a nutshell. I personally love this new change, and it adds more layers to our slime absorb ability. The possibilities are endless. And notice how I've only said green dice. I do plan on adding more dice as the further you go in each level. And to give you an idea, I will add a red dice, which will add power to your abilities. And as you just saw just now, every ability will react differently to the value of dice that is rolled. That way you can have an unpredictability of using your dices as each level progresses. That is all the new changes I've made to my main mechanics. Let me know what you think of all the new changes I've made. In the next devlog, I do plan on showing you map progression. I do want to thank AcroProjects and ChaffDev on assisting me with the slime dice ability and giving me feedback. Thank you both so much on the assistance. Thank you all for watching. If you loved what I show you, subscribe and like the video. Comment down below on your thoughts. I plan on releasing a new devlog once a month, no longer than 2 months. And I do plan on officially adding the title to the game by the next devlog. I'm tired of calling this Dream Slime Game Project. Suggestions will be posted on my Twitter. Go check it out. Links down below. Thank you all so much. This is Ghostbit, and I will see you in my next devlog.